Hi. Good evening, everyone. We're back. Gonna give it a couple of minutes. Let the notifications go out. Let everybody tune in because I know just a little different because y'all know Miss Booth always run a little bit behind time, but I'm a little plump. I told y'all I'm getting better now, so we got some special guests here. So we're gonna give it a couple of minutes. Let everybody come in the room, and I'm gonna share the live to a couple of groups, so everybody could be tuned in and watch us. Well, we got a good day today. No rain today, because I don't know what's been going on with the weather. Because we done been flooded out. We had a tornado yesterday. I'm like, what's going on in Chicago with the weather? Yeah. All the city flooding, rain every day. So today was a good day. So let's thank God for this good day today. The sun was shining. The weather was just right. It was a beautiful day. We want to pray for more days like this because I don't know what's been going on with the weather. We don't want no rain. We need rain because it rain on everything beautiful. We all know that. But the rain is getting a little bit exhausting now. Never hear rain in the basement before. I was shocked. So that was something different. So did you all get any water? Thank God, no. Not this time, no. Good. Good. Yeah, that was strange. So, but there was so much water backed up. The viaducts, everything's just going crazy. Driving home from work, I was so scared. So I'm glad it's not like that today. We out here coming to Blue Table Talk. I know I haven't been here in a while, but I'm glad to be back. It's always a beautiful time here at the Blue Table Talk. So let's see. Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the Blue Table Talk. My name is Tawana Collins Booth, and I have some special guests with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So, hi, I'm Tiffany Stephanie Davis. I'm founder and board president of Every Step of the Way Resource Center and a Gage Park parent.
Hi, my name is Sandra Ward. I'm a CPS teacher here in Chicago, and I am a grandparent of a Gage Park participant. Okay, I want to thank you all for coming to the Blue Table Talk. This is going to be a good talk today. So, um, we heard about some issues that was going on with the city of Chicago, moving migrants in and moving the programs out of Gage Park Fieldhouse. So, could you tell us about that? What's going on? When did this all start? Well, first, thank you for having us on the Blue Table Talk. Yeah, we appreciate the blessing and opportunity. It all started on, we received a call on June 16th and telling us that by the special rep coordinator at Gage Park that we will be moving to McKinley Park. And it didn't sound like we had any options or they were saying that, well, we can have a choice or any options on whether we move there or not, like the choice was final. Then the next day on June 17th, we received a letter via email, which I was telling you about,
talking about the move to Gage Park.
This
Yeah,
letter right here, we have proof.
yeah. So it said like that basically they had four other parks like to move to. McKinley was one of them. Sherman Park was another. Marquette Park was one, and it was this new state of the art park on 48th and Western. And then it said at the end of it that participants would be moved closer to their zip code. Well, we were moved to McKinley Park on 39th and Persian, and that's the furthest away from our zip code.
All right.
So we were definitely baffled as to why we weren't offered to move to the new state of the art facility on 48th and Western that Alderman Ray Lopez was just talking about on the news, was saying most parents were happy to move their kids to that location. But we never got a phone call. We were never asked. We were just told where we were going.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, if you want to add something to what I said, but that's pretty much how it started.
I can just say that most of the parents, well, parents of special rec were very disappointed with what they presented to us. It was no choice, no voice, just this is it. You can take it or leave it. That's pretty much how they gave it to us.
Okay, and then you were saying that they moved your program the farthest away instead of the state of the art facility that they just built over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents that children and adults that go to the special ed program, they live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, some of them live quite a distance, but some of them live in a neighborhood to where maybe they need to catch the bus that's a little close, and I think one of the participants walks. But now in the fall, because there's more participants in the fall, some of them won't be able to catch the bus because like now you have to teach your kid how to get a new route, and some parents don't feel comfortable sending their kids in a new neighborhood. One walks. How would they walk if they live in the Gage Park neighborhoods all the way to 39th and McKinley? But the new state of our facility was on it moved to it's on 40th and Western,
Okay.
and we're on 55th and Western. That's a little closer.
Right. That's
so
distance to walk your child.
yeah. So but I didn't understand, like we weren't invited there to move there, but we were invited to come to the facility. So
to see the facility?
Yeah, to come tour and see how the facility looked, but we weren't invited to move there, so we were kind of confused. But we went to go see how it looked since we were invited.
So a lot of the children and adults might not be able to go to the new location that they moved you all to because they might not have transportation, might not have means to get there. It's not walking distance, and that's not right.
Yeah, and I live 60 parks away from Gage Park as it is, so I got to add extra 15 blocks, so now I live 70 blocks away. So if I don't drive my daughter, then she won't get there. But I'm just looking at how the commute's gonna be during the winter. So
the winter time.
Yeah. So it was just the way we just felt discarded. Like they just didn't care about how would it negatively impact our students at Gage Park. And some of us been there for 15, 20 years.
I was just getting ready to ask you how long have you all been going to a facility, taking your kids and children to the facility?
So me, 15 years. My daughter was 11 when she started. Now she's 26. So 15 years.
Wow.
My child he started a little early. He's been there for 10 years and he's 17 now. So he got early entry into the program.
Okay, but that's a long time for both of them. And then we all know that, our children, they really don't like, transition, change and everything. So, and then for them to been going to that same Fieldhouse for all of those years, and then all of a sudden that they have to change, they want to know what's going on also.
Yeah, and how do you explain it to them?
Right, like why we not where we've been for the last 15 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to move and figure out, and then like I said, the other parents that have no transportation, and they kids just sitting at home. Like while I'm at home now, I was going to a field house that my parents was walking me to on a daily basis.
Yeah, and another thing about not being able to come to the park now, that's where they would see their Special Olympics training at.
Okay.
So if you can't come to the park on a regular basis to be a participant, now you can't train for the Special Olympics. Right. Therefore, you can't participate in Special Olympics.
And
So
they look forward to that.
yeah,
I know
exactly.
that.
Yeah, and some of these athletes been training all their lives. They look forward to. You know how
that.
Special
Yeah, I
Olympics
know
is.
George was in Special
Yeah.
Olympics.
So
You'll see
yeah,
a picture of him in the book.
yeah,
He have a lot of medals. So
yeah.
I know how
So
important that is.
yeah. So it was very disappointing, but I mean, it even goes from there. So it's just yeah, it's a lot to unpack. So they just the way it started and the way things are going, we just weren't we weren't treated fairly.
And so what happened after next after they moved you all? Then
Well, let me go before that, where we got the letter, like we were told verbally on the phone on Friday the 16th, and then Saturday the 17th we got the letter. But on the letter it said on June 20th, that was a Tuesday, that we could come out and express ourselves in this community meeting. I mean, I was just under the impression that okay, maybe it wasn't set in stone because of the fact that they said, okay, come to this community meeting
let's
so you
talk
can
about
express
it.
yourself. Let's talk about
Mhm.
it. We get there and it's a whole presentation about how they're gonna fix up this new environment for the migrants. And I mean they started with that. It wasn't like, they had this big PowerPoint presentation where they were just talking about how they were gonna fix things up. They were gonna have social workers, they were gonna have security, they even put up an application site if you want to apply to, be there to help the migrants.
Mm.
So did you want to add to that? Yeah.
That was pretty much it. They really tried to sell us on the idea that this was a good thing happening in Gage Park, but they failed to realize the people that you were affecting,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
the children, the individuals with special needs. You didn't take that into consideration at all.
No, I don't think they cared, but
no, they did.
okay.
But to be clear,
Okay.
it was 15 Ward Alderman Ray Lopez, and he was the one who said in the letter, we can come to the meeting, explain, to I guess to the community meeting. But we thought we can express ourselves. But we got there was a presentation to like sell us on, why this is a good move for the migrants. So after they got through talking and said everything they wanted to say, they had a big old clock, blaring clock up that said was 1 minute timer, and they told us that we could get up and say what we had to say for 1 minute. As soon as we said like when the 1 minute timer went off, they cut our mics. I've never seen that before. I've always thought you got 2 minutes, but we got the 1 minute with the
usually
1 minute
it's
timer.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I've never seen that. So when every special rec parent got up to speak, I would think it was about 6 or 7 minutes or something like that. There was no rebuttal. It wasn't
No.
like they said absolutely
Then
nothing.
it's-
They didn't say not one word. They just stared at us.
Wow.
And then when we didn't finish what we had said, they cut our mic. Like they literally, I don't know if it was. I felt like he made sure his finger was on because I think I must have said something about him, like about an article that he was talking about. Oh, how many parents would be so happy about this move to this new park, the new park, but he didn't offer us to move to this new park.
Y'all
So
moved far away and
yeah,
not to a
so
new park.
yeah,
And you
so
said I was in a smaller room.
oh
too.
yeah,
Yes.
it was. Look, I wish I don't even think it was the size of this room. I mean, it was because if you think about it, it's 30 participants, 4 of them in wheelchairs.
Wow.
Most of them have mobility issues. If you would have seen the room, I didn't even understand how they could possibly they didn't look at the old environment and try to give them a comparable environment. We just got in where we
They
could fit
just
in.
found someplace.
Place,
Let's come
exactly.
over here.
Yeah,
No big deal.
yeah, exactly.
Because it sounded like the meeting that they had in your way, they just had a meeting to say, okay, we want to tell them we're going to listen to their concerns, but they didn't have no, seemed like they wasn't going to listen to the concerns anyway, because they didn't even say nothing.
Right.
Yeah, they made their decision. You could tell it was very clear that they made the decision. I mean, yeah, we got us and spoke in vain, but they didn't. And I kind of knew when I got the letter, someone was just telling me that, okay, I think because when I got the letter and I seen the article that Alderman Lopez he spoke to a reporter, and the way he was speaking, it kind of felt like the public wasn't totally aware that okay, it's a program in here. There are people in this program. It's a special rec program in here. So that's why I had called the media to make them aware of, hey, we are in this particular program. We've been here 15, 20 years. Now he's moving us to move to accommodate the arrivals, even though our kids need accommodations. He felt that they needed the accommodation.
So you called the media, and the media came about it
Oh, they
immediately.
did. They did. You would thought, yeah. I called every channel I could possibly find, and every channel I could
Good.
possibly find was there. So, I kind of even snickered when I rolled up, like, oh, okay, they're here. But I had got an interview from a reporter prior to that to get my side of the story, which was good. They wanted to see my side of the story, and then they interviewed him, and instead of him responding to, okay, well, we hear that you moved this program out to move them in, his response was, most parents are happy that they get to move to the state of the art program on 48th and Western.
But they still didn't move to
Yes,
that program. So he's just telling lies.
Yeah, he's just going over, he's trying to distract.
Right.
And yeah, okay, it's a nice facility. What do you think?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was state of the art. Air conditioning, which most park districts don't have.
Yeah, the older ones.
Yeah. A complete air conditioning. The basketball court was gorgeous. They had a water park. They had football field, soccer field.
Wow.
I mean, it's loaded, but we weren't invited to go there.
Yeah. No explanation either, though. It wasn't like we were given an explanation. No explanation.
That's true.
One group I heard did go there, which I don't know about that group, but we just weren't invited. But also we was moved the furthest away, so the other camps were moved closer. Okay. So it still doesn't make a lot of sense.
But still not in that state of the art facility that's close by. That was walking distance. In the same area that all the kids and children was used to going to.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so what's the update today? What's going on?
Well, at that meeting, we met a lady, her name is Sarah Mathers, and she's from the Office of the Community of Engagement with the Mayor's Office. So we have been talking to her about setting up a meeting to hear our concerns. It was supposed to be a meeting, I thought today. But we asked for today, but it didn't happen. She didn't get back to us to tell us whether today was a good day. Okay. But we also too wanted to meet with the mayor to speak to him directly about, lack of programming in the state. Period. Yes. Illinois ranks 44 out of 50 states. So how are you compromising the limited programming that we do have? There's only 22 special recreation programs out of 240 field houses. This is the second park it happened to. Petrosky was the first park. Gage Park is the second. So now we have 20 programs, special rec programs that are still intact. But if it can happen to us, it can happen to anybody who asks me.
And then that's not enough programs. Like you said, there's over 200 field houses, and there's only 22 with special rec programs. And then in the third largest populated city in the U.S., it's only 22, but you're compromising those 22. So then on top of that, so I want to, it's not just me, but my organization, Sandra, we want to meet with the mayor to let him know this, to give him our point of view, our perspective, our firsthand account of, okay, this is what we have available. So therefore, this is why this should be preserved, and we should be working on creating more programming. On top of that, preserving the program we have and protecting that, and let's create more programs. Right. So that's what I want. But I felt that the lady, the community engagement, Miss Mathers, kind of wanted to keep it when we talked to her, or the deputy mayor. Did she say the deputy mayor or something? Whatever she said. She was saying other people, and I was like, no, it's important we talk to him. Yeah. Because he needs to hear this directly from us. Yeah. Because to me, he's not connected to the disability community. I don't want to hear about the mayor's office with people with disabilities, because if that's the case, because that's what she mentioned. If that's the case, why weren't they involved in the first place? Exactly. During the transition. Mm-hmm. If they really, deal with that type of thing. Right. That situation. I mean, even though to me, like, have you ever really heard this situation before? But you could just tell there was no thought in it. Yeah. And I do feel, me and Sam was talking about this, I think they just thought they did it because they just thought we weren't going to fight. We were just going to let it go and just be over there. And, so right now we're trying to get a meeting with, like I say, the mayor. With the first deputy community engagement, her first, and then get a meeting with the mayor. She said she was going to try to work something out for this month.
you know, but we'll see.
We still in the month, so
Yeah. Even
we'll
though
stay
that,
hopeful and praying for this meeting. It'll be very important.
yeah. So we're kind of trying to go from there, and then I have contacted a lawyer, and they're looking into it as well, trying to speak with the Park District Commissioner to see if they can facilitate a meeting between the parents and us to see if there could be maybe a transition to the new building or maybe a building that's closer and comparable.
Okay, I
Than
was
what
just
we
getting
have.
ready to ask you if they moved y'all in that state of the art facility that you all told me about. Will you be okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's certain things that we will be missing out on, but I do feel that, you know, I think it would be better than where we're at.
Okay.
That's the start. But I think the fact that it's indefinite, like we don't know if McKinley's permanent or indefinite, you know what I mean? Or are we going back to Gage? They kind of said at one point, yeah.
Yeah, and initially they said it was only going to be during the summer,
Okay.
90 days. That's it.
Okay.
When I spoke with Miss Mathers, she said, "Well, it's been extended to 6 months."
Oh no.
Okay, this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. One of the things that the alderman stated when we were at the town meeting was the fact that he didn't want to ping pong the immigrants from this place to this place to that place. Okay, but you're ping ponging
Right, I was
us.
gonna say, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
They done came to Chicago and they getting more rights than us. They getting the money, they getting better facilities, they getting jobs, they getting everything.
They getting medical, they getting psychic help, they get whatever help they need. And they get bikes, they get clothing and all of those wonderful things. But what do we get? Ping pong.
Yeah. But they don't want to do to the migrants. But the citizens of Chicago, we can get done anywhere. It doesn't matter. Oh, we'll worry about them later because we're gonna put them first.
Yeah, and I think that's when you say that, people try to make it about you don't want them helping the migrants. That's not true. We don't want to be put on the back burner, displaced because of them. Like even at Wadsworth, and that's up to the community if they want them. They don't do or don't want them in the community, but nobody was in that school. But you're gonna take a facility that was already occupied and displace them to accommodate the migrants.
Right.
And I feel like people with disabilities are the most vulnerable population. They need accommodation.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why they just felt that we should have been just discarded like that. Like their needs didn't matter. They didn't. I don't think they did any research, any background information. I really don't know why they focused on Gage. I'm still confused. I think there was other places they could have chosen. Matter of fact, remember Sandra when we were at that community engagement meeting on the 20th, you said somebody approached them and said it was a building across the street that they had. It was a big building. They said they had all type of room in there.
Right. I don't know what his position was, but it was a Lithuanian, a man that worked with the Lithuanian church said that his facility was open. It was very large space. He was open to maybe having them use that facility to to do because they called it a processing center. So if you're processing, that means there's going to be, it's like a revolving door. You come in, you get processed, you move out. He said he was willing to open that up for the immigration, the new arrivals, but because it's not city property, we didn't think it was going to go forward.
Yeah, but it was right down the street from Gage Park, like 2 blocks up. So
but they didn't ask.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just like I don't know why they focused on
anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
They just and then if you look at it, it's basically like all in our community. It's just like
they don't need
to be heard. We can do whatever to them, like we've been doing to them. Why y'all not take them up north, or why y'all only put them in certain neighborhoods? Y'all just drop them off. We don't know who they are. We don't know their background. Our children are around them, and we're supposed to be acceptable to all of it.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I did call one disability organization to see about legal representation, the lady who was the intake person said exactly what you said. She was like, is she asked me a question. She was like, "Is that a black and brown neighborhood? You know, like Hispanic?" I said, "Yep." She said, "That's only happening in those neighborhoods." She said the same thing.
Yeah, because you see it on the news every time. You see where they go. You'll hear they try to drop them off at this school. They drop them off over there. You see them walking down the street. You go up now, they because they know immediately if they try to do that at some one of their field houses or facilities or schools over there on the north side of Chicago, it's not happening.
No,
So that's sad. It's sad.
But see, they ran into the wrong
They sure
program.
did.
Yeah,
they sure did.
They sure did.
They met their match.
Exactly.
They met their match, and I'm glad they did. Because I'm
Mhm.
glad you did the necessary steps to take forward to get some action going on to get
Exactly.
everyone, the children, back where they need to be.
Mhm.
If not in that field house, the state of the art field house that's right down the street.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So, but tell us, is there anything that we can do to help with this process of trying to get the special rec back into a better facility or back into Gage Park Fieldhouse? We know they said 90 days or whatever. So, but is there anything that the viewing audience that we can do to help you all?
Well, the only thing I could think of is to keep talking about it, keep the conversation going. That's why I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come on here because we want to keep the conversation going. Not a lot of people know about that. A lot of people were thinking that there was a vacant facility and they chose that facility. They didn't know we were being displaced. So I think, if it's ever any moments to advocate, like if we could speak to the mayor and then there was more people to come, yes, we let everybody know about the opportunity, but far as keep talking about passing along. I've been sharing the interviews we've been doing on Facebook. So if you see us do an interview,
share the interviews.
Yeah,
keep share all the interviews
on Facebook.
Keep this out in the public so we can get that meeting with the mayor, so that we can get some action going back, so we can get the Gage Park Fieldhouse Special Rec back, or probably in that bed. We want them to get in that state of the art facility since everything new over there. We want the new. So let's get them over there. We don't even want to go back. Let's get them into the state of our facility.
Yeah.
So I do think that you probably will meet the mayor because you're out here making noise, and that's a good thing because we just be quiet, nothing to happen.
Exactly.
You have to stand up for anything that you want. So you taking action, and I believe action is gonna come back. So I have no doubt that you're gonna get that meeting with the mayor. I know everybody, the kids gonna get moved into that state of the art facility. So and you said thank me for coming on the Blue Table Talk. It's a pleasure to have you all at the Blue Table Talk. And to spread the word out. When I heard about it, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then, but it was just like when I hear the stories about on the news, when they see the situation, when they putting them here, they putting them there. I'm like, oh my God, they just dropping them off in the neighborhood. We don't know who these is. We women walking down the street, we don't know these men. So, and then just like what happened at the police station, they ain't said nothing else about that, but that's sad. So they need to think these things out before just doing things. So again, I'm glad that you're taking action, and I do hope that you get the meeting with the mayor. But what do you have coming up next?
Well, as I say, I'm founder board president of Every Step of the Way Resource Center, and we're going to have a walkathon charity event on July 22nd. It's Saturday, July 22nd from 1:30 to 4:30. The registration closed on June 30th, but just want to let you know that we're currently fundraising for our out-of-home respite care program.
Okay.
Because the whole point of the organization, we help intellectually disabled adults and their parents in their areas of need. But one of the big areas of need is programming. And so when I sat down and thought about, my daughter's 26. I have years of experience. I'm a certified regular and special educator. So I just took my experiences with my daughter and experiences with my work experience to say, to figure out what are the deficits in the disability community. And I know a lot of parents that don't have people to watch their children want to do simple,
that's
essential
very much
tasks.
needed.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
needed.
in that position too. So we want to create an out-of-home respite care program because sometimes you can't find reliable people to come to your home. So they could come to the facility and the parents could go ahead and get a break. And I don't care if they go to church, they could go wash clothes, they could go to the movies, just go relax while their kids are doing meaningful and constructive tasks. So that's what we're fundraising for, and we celebrating Disability Pride Month too.
Okay.
So But yeah, that's on July
good.
22nd.
I can't wait till you get that. That's
Yeah.
because that center is well needed.
Yeah,
For real.
I'm
I
hoping.
talked to a lot of parents who need respite care.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Yeah, that's phase one. When we get to phase two, I hope you come back and then I tell you when.
Yeah, you're gonna be coming back all the time.
Exactly.
This is just the beginning. We just talking about this issue.
Yeah.
Now we coming back all the time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
You're welcome to come anytime. This is what Blue Table Talk is about. It's an open table to come talk about any issues concerning our community. Come on, talk to the Blue Table. I'm here, ready and waiting, right here.
All right.
And me and George will be vending at the disability walk. And if you like it, because the registration is closed, so you can't just walk up. But if you would like to come purchase our book, The Diagnosis and Stop the Dream, you can catch us there. It'll be on her page, Tiffany Stephanie Davis, Every Step of the Way page. So you can go on there and see the address of where we're going to be to come and purchase the book. Also, we'll be vending coming up at the Burst of Book World of Literature Fest 2023. So me and George, we're going to be out here vending. And also, y'all know it's our year anniversary of the Diagnosis and Stop the Dream. We dropped the book last year, 2022. In July. So this month is a celebration. So we're celebrating the release of the Diagnosis and Stop the Dream. So right now we're offering a discount. If you haven't had your opportunity to get a copy of our book, go over to tawanabooth.com right now and type in the code DREAM and you're going to get 50% off. And that's a special we have going on just because it's a 1 year celebration. And we want to thank everybody who already purchased the book already. Thank you all for all y'all support. And if you haven't, like I said, you get a chance to go on the website or come to the any of the vending that me and Georgia be at. I'll be posting all about it. So we want to thank you all for tuning in. Also, wait a minute. Before I leave, I want to thank my cameraman, my setup person, George Booth. I want to thank him for always being here by my side. I couldn't do it without him. So, and I also want to thank Mr. Brady, the speech language and pathologist, the best in the world. So, if you haven't had the opportunity to get your child a speech therapy, you need to come on down, look up Brady Speech 5228. The number is 773-493-4000. Give him a call. You don't even have to come in. He have online classes. The best speech therapist in the world. I don't say Chicago or the state. Is in the world. If you know him, you know him. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Have a good night. Bless you all. Be safe.